Another episode of Beerly Out of Bounds. It's your boy Rico Daddy Slick here.
How did your crew not get out there? They're playing off!
On the green, we sway with a beer in hand every day. From the tee to the hole, we're just trying to keep control. We're barely out of bounds, drinking and golfing around. A toast to the fairway we raise, for the love of the game and the haze. For the love of the game and the haze.
I don't know if it's about to do that. I don't know.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Beerly Out of Bounds. It's a golf show. We talk about golf, we drink some beer, and we have a grand old time. I'm family-friendly Daniel Louderschmidt. Joined with me as always is a Sailor's brother. How we doing tonight?
Well, I'm looking forward to tonight. I never swear like my brother a sailor, like the sailor. So anyway, really looking forward to this weekend. It's the Memorial. It's Jack's tournament. I'm excited for that. Excited to talk about a number of topics. But as you know, this is a Beerly Sports Network broadcast. So what we've got here is we've got our beers of the night. I am drinking something I got over Memorial Day. I went up to Sparta, Tennessee, the home of bluegrass music. Yeah. And I've got myself in my Beerly Out of Bounds mug or pint glass. In my Beerly Out of Bounds pint glass, I've got the Golden Calf from Calf Killer Brewing. They had a great kind of Memorial Day service there. I believe it was his sister. They got the two guys that own it. One of the guys, his sister, is a veteran, and she gave a prayer. He played taps on, I think, his little chimes, and it was just a beautiful time. They had a little special. They had food truck there. That was delicious, by the way. It was fresh. I mean, it was fresh. I had the fish fillets, fresh fish, not frozen. Like
Wendy's.
No, it wasn't like Wendy's. But it was great.
Beef.
It was great, dude. So I really enjoyed myself this weekend. And what about you? How was your Memorial Day?
My Memorial Day was spent where all my holidays are spent, and that is working. So I'm a hardworking man.
Fair. Some might say you are a masochist. Some might say it. Not me.
No.
Not me. I don't say it.
I think that's inaccurate.
I don't say it.
But I was working. It wasn't a bad day. It was just a busy day. We had couples golf this weekend. So this week we started our junior camp. And then actually started signups for the new junior academy at the Georgia Club, which I'm heading up. And nice. We're seeing the kind of interest that I expected we would see in it. So that's...
Which is zero? No, I'm just kidding.
We're seeing a lot of
good joke. Come on.
We're actually seeing more interest than I thought. which I thought was a definite possibility that we would get more interest than we initially believed we would.
Sure. I mean, which schools are you like drawing from? Which high schools in that area? I have no idea.
We got North Oconee, Prince.
They're pretty good, right? North Oconee.
North Oconee should have won the state championship, and the women's did win the state championship.
Yeah.
So I mean, like we have a couple pretty good programs around the area, and then obviously we have a lot of juniors that are just kind of like too good to be in our younger junior camp anymore.
Yeah.
And they've kind of just aged out of, or not even really aged out, but just skilled out of those more beginner clinics that we've been doing for a couple years, which is what you want to see.
Oh, of course.
But you also need something on the back end to help pick those kids up and keep them going in the game and keep them growing in the game.
Yeah.
So that was the whole idea behind setting up an academy program. And I'm excited about it. So today was pretty good. And also I walked 9 holes for the first time in a couple months. Played pretty well. I feel like I might just quit golf if I don't qualify for the Georgia Open this year. I'm so serious.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard you say that before. And you never quit golf. So that sounds like an empty threat.
It's different this year.
To me.
And by the way, I
sounds
didn't
like
say
an
this
empty
last
threat.
year. I wasn't near.
No, you didn't. But you've said things like this before, and they've never came to fruition. So
I am so serious with the way I'm hitting the ball right now, and the way I'm chipping, and the way I'm putting. If I don't make the Georgia Open qualifying, I'm gonna be. I probably won't quit golf. I'm gonna cry, for sure. I'm gonna cry, actual tears.
Okay.
But you're right. This is a beer podcast, so enough about me. Let's talk about my beer. Got a new one tonight. Never before seen on either podcast that I'm a part of. We're going with a Georgia Beer Company Field Party Blonde Ale. Beautiful.
Oh, look at that.
Man.
Beautiful can.
They are out of...
It's got that Tennessee orange in it, though. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Not sure how Georgians feel
in
about
Valdosta.
That,
shout out to Valdosta. Kendra Lou's down there. You got Stone Creek. That was loud.
It felt good. We didn't go there whenever we were there for your bachelor party. We didn't go to the brewing company.
We had plenty of beer. We didn't.
No, but like that would have been something. that would have been a cool little.
Dude, we got plenty of. We're gonna do plenty of trips in our lives. Okay, we'll make it to some breweries. Yes.
Are we? Because right now you're on a kick there at the Georgia club where
I got 2 days off this week. I'm pumped about it. I got tomorrow off.
Oh, yeah?
So
yeah, you got the 2 days off
here. I'm hoping at least 4 of these are gone tonight. Might do a shot. We'll see how where the night takes us. We're gonna have fun tonight. We're gonna have fun.
We're never that crazy. We're never that crazy on this podcast.
Well, normally I'm working the next day, so.
You're usually pretty crazy on the other podcasts on the Beer League.
Not lately, I haven't been.
Ooh, sorry. Not lately. Daniel Lauderschmidt didn't show up for that
wasn't
one.
There for that. He's here today. Family friendly.
He's here tonight.
Family friendly.
Which are 2 F's you can use tonight. Those are 2 F words.
Let's talk about what happened last week. I believe it was the Charles Schwab Challenge. My boy, the Maxfli man, Ben Griffin, taking it down, second win of 2025. Able to hang on, basically. Everyone was throwing up on that back 9 on day 4. But what do you think about Ben Griffin getting his second win of the year?
I mean, it was kind of cool to see him win again. He's kind of like one of those everymans. If you know his story, he had to quit golf. So that's kind of a cool story. If you go back and look at it, I mean, the dude basically quit golf because he wasn't cutting it on the Corn Ferry. And then he went into, I think it was finance for a while. And that, I guess he got really good buddies with his boss or something and like funded his like return into golf. And so then obviously it just kicked off for him. And it's one of those cool things about golf, man. It is a lifetime game. I mean, I know I know it's kind of a cliche. I know people don't really think of it like that. I know people think of it like, Ricky Fowler, all these young guys have their time and then they fade into the ether. But what actually ends up happening is you have guys go well into their 30s and then go on a tear, and you do see that quite often. It's not something that's rare. It's not something that gets particularly a lot of a lot of press, but because it doesn't draw the eyes like somebody like a young stud like Jordan Spieth whenever he went on his run and stuff like that. It doesn't draw the eyes like that. But I think it's pretty cool about this game. No other sport has that happen.
I mean, I think back to
tennis now is a little bit different, in which guys, their careers last longer because they're more safe with their bodies. Like Nadal, Federer, they last longer. Djokovic, but it's not like golf, in which you can literally win. Phil, oldest major winner, won. What is it? 51. He won it at 52. It was something stupid. So he's it was. Are you sure? Because I think he was eligible for the Champions Tour when he won it. I think so, dog. Look it up. Anyway, I hope I'm right. 50. My guess is 51. You tell me.
Oh, damn, you were close. 50 years, 11 months, and 7 days.
I was so close, dude. Anyway,
I thought it was like 48.
So I do. No.
50 years old. Doing win major.
That happened only a few years ago, dog. Anyway, my point being is that golf is one of those really cool games where old guys can still beat the young guys occasionally. And that's
I think back to when you had that British Open, Tom Watson almost winning that British Open at at 55. Almost 60 years old, and then Paul Guidos getting in contention at his first major at 48. Yeah,
at the Players.
Oh, it wasn't a major.
It wasn't.
It was Players, but
it was a major. It was the fifth major. And it was back when it was really the fifth major.
But I mean, you think of those are cool stories. I can't remember that other guy's and Ken Dean. He got better as he aged in terms of his scoring.
There are guys like that. That's not uncommon.
I think Ben Griffin is still 26. So I think he's still pretty young.
Is he? You sure he's not 30?
I think he's younger than me and you.
How old is Ben Griffin?
29. Okay, so he's not 30.
He's my age. That's
30
cool.
years old.
Okay.
He's older than me.
Quit aging me, Zach.
You are 30.
But I know.
Did you listen to that Bo Burnham song on your 30th birthday?
I'm turning. Yeah.
No,
I didn't. No.
It is Agree.
I think they're just really good songs. I agree. I think they're funny. They are funny. It's comedy, but at the same time, they're pretty good songs.
That's a banger. And trust me, I know bangers. All right. But yeah, cool story. Ben Griffin, 2 wins in the same year, 2025. You can put the asterisk on the Zurich Classic like I do because it's a team event. But
of course.
Definitely a big win last week at the Charles Schwab. His first individual PGA Tour win. Playing the Max.
Oh, I thought he won another one. Are you sure? I don't think the Zurich was his first.
I'm talking about this year.
Oh, okay.
I think he won in 2022.
His first win of the year.
Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not his first ever, but cool to see him get 2 wins in the same year in relatively close proximity.
Absolutely.
He's obviously playing very good golf right now. And I really wanted to talk again about the Maxfli golf ball because that's pretty crazy. That is crazy that a guy playing a Maxfli ball in 2025 is winning on the PGA Tour.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, can I just say something? So I recently, it's not because I can't get golf balls. It's just because I don't ask for them. But I stopped on the way up to Tennessee to grab, because I knew I was wanting to go play if weather permitted. And luckily weather did. I don't know if you saw that video. I took Shadow and he was running along the cart. I attached the leash to the cart where the bag thing is, like through the bag thing. And he ran by the cart like almost all 18 holes. He loved it, dude. He was having a blast. I made sure he wasn't getting anywhere near the wheels.
He's like dragging his dog behind him.
It's pretty great.
It's like, dude, he's having such a great time. You can tell. That's not cries of pain. Those are cries of joy.
That's right, baby.
Just hit a bump.
Anyway, no, we had a blast. Done. Shadow?
He got real quiet all of a sudden. He must have gotten tired. Oh, he's laying down over there. There's blood coming out of his mouth.
Yeah. What's this red stuff?
I think he's throwing up. He's probably sick.
Yeah. He ate too much grass,
He's knock that off. I've been telling him.
Ate too much grass. But we had a good time, and I bought at Walmart, so you're not going to get great balls at Walmart. But I went to Walmart, and they had ran out of the Vice Pro Pluses. They had the AVXs, but I don't play the AVX, and it's not great. And it's good for old guys.
Yep,
that's pretty much it. Anyway, so I they didn't have Pro Pluses, so I got that Pro Zero. You know, they're like cheaper 3-piece urethane. Well, I got the Pro Zero. No, I hit it pretty good. Like the thing is, in reality, because it has a 344 dimple design, in reality, it's gonna boil down to like what ball fits you, and that's really what it boils down to. I don't think, like, obviously some balls are gonna perform distance-wise better than others. That's just an obvious statement. The difference in distance is not that great.
So
it's just not. But like there's a reason why Rory plays the TP5X. He could play the Titleist if he really wanted to. Like he could
You'd probably have to go to
negotiate that out with TaylorMade.
Does not spin.
He plays a spinny ball.
Well, then he switched to the TP5. He was playing the X. And the X,
maybe
X, Colin Morikawa literally said the only person that plays the X on Team TaylorMade is Rory because he hits the ball so freaking hard.
Okay, well, maybe it still spins more than the left dash or something like that. Anyway, the point being is like it's just gonna fit you. You know, like that's the bottom line. Same thing as any equipment, really. Like if we really think about it, and you know, to that point, we really should in the golf industry be discussing like ball fitting.
Well,
in like
no point,
in bays
no
and
point
stuff
doing
like
it
that.
Anymore. They're gonna be gone in 3 years.
What do you mean?
Because they're rolling back the ball.
Oh, that's true. No point in doing it anymore. You're exactly right. Never mind.
They're rolling back the
ball.
Never mind.
You're right. But back before they were going to roll back the ball, right? And they might change their mind. I hope they do. I think that's like I saw that's one of the biggest travesties. Shrink the head, shrink the club. It's gone from 43.5 inches to 46 inches. Shrink the club, shrink the head.
Yeah,
make it harder to
100% agree. And here's the thing: you can bifurcate the game between PGA Tour and regular play. Why does it have to be the same? If someone wants to play,
it doesn't.
PGA Tour like clubs, they can do that. But like, there's no reason that the amateurs are gonna. There's no reason amateurs should hit the ball 20% shorter.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why in college they play with metal
bats.
And the
pros, they play with wood
and
bats.
in the pros, they play with wood and bats, you know? And you can make the argument all you want about how metal bats don't actually make you hit it deeper, but like, come on, look at the stats yourself and you tell me. You know what I mean?
My whole thing is I don't care if they roll back the golf ball for the PGA Tour all that much. The fact that they're doing it game-wide is crazy.
Just doesn't make a lot of sense, USGA. I mean, I don't
well,
get
and I heard a thing where it's like, well, they keep stretching out these courses, so of course guys need to hit the ball further. So they're going to try and learn how to hit the ball further.
No, that's stupid. Because if you look at old footage, like I guarantee you, if you had back in the day, if you had given 29-year-old Jack Nicklaus a 46-inch long driver with a 460cc club head, I guarantee you that thing's going a
Probably,
long
yes.
way.
I'm not saying that, but
people have, can I say this? People have broken down those old footages of him. And again, it's hard to tell because of frame rates are different, yada, 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 right? But people have broken down those footage and they've said, like, look, he's swinging it just as fast as these guys are nowadays. It's just the equipment wasn't nearly as good, right? That's all it boils down to.
Well, and my thing about it is, it's like this race for distance. Like, I don't know. We don't have to talk about the golf ball rollback. If you want to go back and watch our episode on the golf ball rollback, you can. But
just talk about it. I mean, why not?
Stuff we got to get through today, Zane. We got stuff we got to get through.
Fine, whatever.
But anyway, me and Zane both don't like the golf ball
like
rollback. We think it should be changes to the club, not the golf ball.
Of course. And USGA has that ability.
And if you wanted to make a change,
if you wanted to make a change to
the golf ball, just do it for the pro game. Like, it's not like you're having this big issue with distance in amateur golf. So, like, I don't understand.
No, and changing the ball is way harder 100%. Than changing the club. Shrink the club. Make it to where it's 43 inches again. Make me hit a mini driver.
Yeah.
I can do that. Yeah, it's going to go shorter, but
100%. I agree. All right. Zane, what's the first topic you wanted to dive into this week? We got a lot of news to cover.
We do have a lot of news to cover. Why don't we cover, before we get into this week's tournament, let's go ahead and cover one of the things that dropped this week. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen.
I got a lot of stuff
with you guys
that I sent to Zane on Instagram. So I have Instagram pulled up.
I mean, you might have shared this with me too, but this is just, one of the things that has happened with the Tour Championship, they're making changes to, is they dropped this. They're no longer going to be doing everybody. So just to recap for people that weren't paying attention or just getting into this, right? Because I want this to be a podcast for people that are new to the game to come and enjoy a drink with them. So basically what happened is the Tour Championship before, so in the FedEx Cup, what would happen is you'd have a FedEx Cup points winner and you have a Tour Championship winner. Tour Championship was always the last tournament of the year. What would happen was a lot of the time, hey, you get out of there. A lot of the times you had two winners, right? You'd have a winner of a cup, winner of the tournament. Sometimes it'd be the same person. That's fair. What happened was they were like, that's way too confusing to people. People can't get into this because they don't know who won. Like Jim Furyk won 1 year and then Tiger Woods won the FedEx Cup.
It happened with Brandt Snedeker too. Brandt Snedeker won the Tour Championship and someone else won the champion. So they have a trophy ceremony where they give the trophy to Brandt Snedeker and then a second trophy ceremony where someone else won the FedEx Cup.
Yeah.
And it's just.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where it's like, it doesn't make a lot of sense. And I agree with that sentiment. I mean, it is weird. I don't think it's that big of a problem to have two winners. But what happened was they wanted to fix that issue. So what they did is they were like, okay, well, we're just going to have it at the end of the year where the winner of the tournament wins the Tour Championship. So the winner of the tournament wins the Tour Championship. And what we're going to do in order to make it fair is we're going to give the people at the top, the people that have scored the most FedEx Cup points, we're going to give them a handicap into this tournament. And they call it a handicap, but they basically give them strokes, right? They have a starting line. Similar to like if you qualify for a Daytona 500, wherever you qualify, that's where you start. It's a very similar thing. Well, it's a little weird because in golf, it's not the same thing, right? It's just not the same thing to where if you start here, it's just not, right? And the idea was, and it was floated around that a lot of people wanted it to be a match play tournament. A lot of people floated the idea to just have it straight up, top 30, straight up, boom. And so now the tour has come out with the new format. The new format will eliminate those starting strokes at the beginning of the tournament. Zach,
I've made my position on this pretty clear. I think the starting strokes is the best way to do it to determine a tour champion. Because here's the thing. if the 30th guy gets hot on the final week of the year and wins the tour championship, you're trying to tell me he was the best player on tour that year? No. I'm sorry. No. He wasn't. And he doesn't deserve that trophy. So my whole thing about it is like, I think the starting strokes make sense. If you're trying to determine, if the goal of the event is to determine who played the best this season, you give starting strokes to the guys at the top, and the guys at the bottom have to play out of their freaking mind to win. I think that makes the most sense. Because the difference between the points that the number one guy has and the points that the 30th guy has are so incredibly disparate. It's not like they're within 5 points from 1 to 30. That's not what it's like. You have hundreds of points of difference in between those two guys. And the fact that if one guy gets hot, he could be, quote unquote, the best player on tour that year is really dumb.
I get that. I do. The issue is like there's no real I've come to the conclusion there's no real great way of doing this. The starting strokes thing, the problem with it is that it ends up not being a real golf tournament.
I disagree. It depends on what the goal of the event is. You can disagree all you want. It ends up being. What's the goal of the event?
I agree, but at the end of the the goal of it's kind of like the playoffs in the NFL. Can I just say this? So. And again, you can liken this to any sport. Obviously, right now, it's more like NASCAR. You qualify, wherever your qualifying time is, that's where you start the race. That's the order in which you start the race. Right now, it's like NASCAR. What they're proposing is it be more like the playoffs in the NFL.
Yeah.
Right? You get into the NFL, whether that's wild card. There's like the Bucks. When the Bucks won the Super Bowl, they won through the wild card, right? And that's how they got in. Right. And that can happen. And so the idea is that we're gonna do this with the top 30 players.
But if you wanted it to be more like the NFL
and the top guy
or like the playoffs and any other thing, you do match play.
I get it. I understand. I really do. I understand where you're coming from. What I'm saying is I think this makes more sense from a viewer's perspective. Having just the winner be the winner. Now, I agree with you in the fact that I think 30 players is too many. I think if you were deciding from the top 15 or the top 10.
But then what's the coverage going to look like on that? Because we already don't trust them to show enough golf. And now you have 15 guys on the course. You're not going to see every shot from those 15 guys.
Zach, I agree with you. I'm saying there's no real great way of doing this.
I'm saying that they're doing it the best way they possibly
That's why, can I say this? That's why, even now, with the FedEx Cup the way it is, and it is a bigger event than it used to be, but with the FedEx Cup and the Tour Championship the way it is, it's still not the major championship.
It's never going to be.
And it's never going to be. And the players aren't going to care about it as much as the major championships. And they never will. And the thing is like, I just don't know if putting hurdles in front of the viewers is all that great. I think that this is not, and again, I'm going to back the players on this one because I haven't heard, unless you can show me video of them, and I'm sure there are not a lot of players disagreeing with this new change. Most of them are backing it.
That's because most of them are in the 15 to 30 range. Or are going to end up there if they get in.
No, I get it, but they'd be in anyway, right? The idea is they'd be in there anyway. Even Scotty was like, yeah, that makes sense to do it. Scotty'd be way out in front.
I listen, if the goal...
It does nothing but benefit Scotty. I understand
it does nothing but benefit Scotty. My whole thing is if the goal of the event is to determine who the number one player on the PGA Tour is, by the end of the tournament, doing a 72-hole stroke play event with 30 guys straight up does not determine that.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is even though it does not determine that in a very perfect,
it doesn't determine it at all.
It's completely. Here's the thing: it's also completely arbitrary doing starting strokes. It's also completely arbitrary in how those strokes are divvied.
I understand that it's arbitrary. That everything that's arbitrary isn't bad.
I understand that, but the point is like, if Scotty's ahead by 2,000 points or by 1,000 points, like, he's going to get the same starting strokes no matter what, and that seems pretty arbitrary. And even Scotty, who's probably going to be ahead whenever it's all said and done, based off of his performance this season, he's even saying it's like this is the best way of doing it. Like, the best way of doing it is just getting rid of these starting strokes.
I just don't want that.
I think they messed up in the fact that it should be a match play. I think match play makes the most sense with 30 guys. I think that would be so freaking cool. Do a double elimination tournament. I think it would be like the dopest thing on the planet if they did something like that. But again, I don't make the rules. This is better than it was, in my opinion. This is really no better than it was, honestly.
Actually, I think it works perfectly if you do a match play and the top 2 guys get a bye first round.
That'd be
start
great.
With 28, and it gets cut down to 16.
That'd be great. Or even do I said, even do like a thing where you have a double elimination. You could do that with 30 guys.
I think it'd take longer, a lot longer.
It'd take longer.
But I think 30 guy match play, top 2 get buys.
But how awesome would that be? You play like 36 holes in a day. That'd be so freaking cool.
If you're gonna do a match play event on the PGA Tour, and here's the thing. PGA Tour currently doesn't have a match play on it. If you're going,
I know
the problem. The best way to add it is an event that matters.
Yeah, absolutely. And isn't what more of an event that matters than the last tournament of the year?
First off, PGA Tour don't own the majors. I had to explain that to someone the other day.
You had to explain that to somebody the other day, that the PGA Tour doesn't own the majors. Why would
they thought that the PGA Tour owned the majors? I was like, yeah, the PGA Tour does own the majors. And they're like, what about the PGA Championship? And I was like, that's the PGA of America.
That's the PGA of America, my friend. Yeah, that's a little different. Just a tad different there. You might want to do. You might want to read. Do a little bit reading.
Do a bit of reading.
Do a bit of reading.
Really good, by the way. I like it.
Anyway, that's good. I'm glad. I've got to get a refill here real quick. Do you want to go on to your next thing? Again, let's save the memorial stuff for later. Is there anything?
We got some social media stuff to go through. So while you're filling up your drink, I'll do something that I think you're less interested in talking about, and then I'll go into something I know you'll want to put your 2 cents in. So we're gonna go ahead and do this.
Just talk.
We're gonna share screen. We're going to go Instagram. We're going to go John Rahm.
Why is everybody so obsessed with distance? I can simplify it since Tiger. There's better ways to screen the human body. There's better ways to make people work out in the gym, to make the sequence better and make themselves more efficient. And technology is just a little bit better. I get it. But overall, we're all better athletes. It happens in every single sport. I think what they're doing, which is trying to stretch golf courses, it's only going to feed into people hitting it longer.
That's what I say.
Period. It's getting to a point where if you have rough like this, and you have 520-yard par fours, you're going to need to hit it 340, because otherwise you're not going to get to the green in any other way. Right? So they're feeding into us needing to hit it longer. And I think it hinders the game when they try to roll back the ball and change things. Why is everyone...
So, and we also saw comments similar to this from Justin Thomas and Victor Hovland talking about long par threes, like 250-yard plus par threes, and how that's kind of dumb. I agree. I think it is kind of dumb. Yeah,
no, it's really dumb.
It's really dumb. But John Rahm's point makes sense. If you have thick rough and a 520-yard par 4, you're going to have to hit the ball 340 yards to score on that hole. That's just something you're going to have to do. So they keep trying to stretch out golf courses, which just makes people need to hit the ball further. And John Rahm, another thing, everyone on the PGA Tour is a better athlete on average than it was in years past.
Yep.
So they're lengthening holes, which feeds into the idea that, okay, I have to hit the ball 340 to be able to get there and give myself a chance.
I mean, it really is an Ouroboros. I mean, it really is a snake eating its own tail. Like you create, and we've talked about this extensively. Everything they do seems to have
opposite of their intended
opposite outcome. Yeah, opposite of their intended outcome. You lengthen the courses, right? USGA with the lengthening of these par 3s, making them crazy long. What you end up doing is actually you benefit the longer hitters. You don't actually
and
hurt
you promote the
hitters.
idea that you have to hit the ball further to play on this tour, to play in these majors.
Yep. You have them chase the distance because then they're like, okay, well, I'm just going to chase the distance rather than lengthening the rough, making the hitting areas smaller, rather than making the course actually more
Firming
difficult.
Up fairways is another thing.
They know. Here's the thing. This is the craziest part. They know how to do this. They did it at the Olympic Club with Webb Simpson when Webb Simpson shot 1 or 2 over to win the tournament. It's not because the course was wet or like because they were experiencing a lot of bad
because
weather
it was
or anything
so
like that.
incredibly hard to hit the fairway.
And the greens were rolling like
the rough was like a foot thick.
Like rough. They eliminated bunkers to where it would roll off into rough behind the green. It was super difficult, and they know how to do this stuff. And what John Rahm's saying here is 100% true. This can be fixed. This is not something that's beyond our capabilities of fixing. The problem is the people that have the control of what happens, I think, aren't very serious about what it takes to do it.
Yeah, no.
To be frank,
they see people are hitting
either
the
that
ball
or they're
further.
they're just dumb. Either that or
they
they're
say
just
people
dumb.
are hitting the ball further. We need to make the courses longer. Then what does that do?
Yeah.
Now I'm one of the guys that's not hitting the ball as far as some of the other guys. Well, now I have to hit the ball further. I have to work on distance. And it just promotes. It's like you said, it's an Ouroboros. It's a snake eating its own tail.
And there are things you can do. Like equipment has gotten substantially better. This is why I don't understand the whole thing. Like if you look up how long drivers were back in the 90s and 80s, they were 43, 44 inches long. We've added 2 inches to that. 3 inches since the 80s. It's like you add 3 inches to a club, everybody knows what happens.
Far.
Everybody knows. Yeah, everybody knows what happens. It's like it's not rocket science.
It's not brain science or rocket surgery, okay?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, Zane, you're gonna love this one. You're gonna love this one. It's your favorite person ever. 2 of your favorite people, actually.
The ability to look at video and go into data deep dives and change what is already working is certainly an epidemic of this generation because they have so much information, but it's very, very dangerous. The most dangerous place at a golf course is not Amen Corner. It's not the snake. It's not the bear pit. It's the driving range.
Yeah.
That is the most dangerous place at any tour event. More games are killed there than anywhere else. The ability to look.
What do you think about that, Zane?
Tell that to everybody on the BJ Tour. What the F is this guy talking about?
Oh,
what the hell? Just freaking Rory about like, okay, Rory doesn't hit the range afterward. Scotty Scheffler, DeChambeau, they all do. What the hell is this guy talking about?
Oh my god!
These guys are trying to get every competitive edge on their competitors. What are
By the
you
way,
talking
this is the
about?
same guy that Billy Horschel said is a ghost on the driving range. He doesn't go to the driving range to watch the tour guys, and he's like, I've seen more games ruined on the driving range on tour than.
No, it's not even that.
I do, because you know what? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
That's just hearsay. That's hearsay. I'll make fun of him for it, but that's hearsay. The problem is, Brandel, you're never going to hear this, so it's whatever. But the thing is this is a retarded, and I'll use the R word. This is a really dumb way of looking at this. Driving range is where you practice the game of golf. Now, there are ways that you don't practice on a driving range, but all these tour pros know how to practice on the driving range. You're talking about guys that have literally done this their entire lives. This isn't your average Joe at the Chicopee Woods driving range in Gainesville, Georgia. These are guys that know, okay, I need to hit at targets. Okay, I need to look for this dispersion or that dispersion. They have things out there that allow them to hit on virtual courses while they're on an actual driving range. Like, they can hit at targets that aren't even there. And you're sitting here telling me that that's the most dangerous place to be when the past two major championship winners stayed after the fact to hit more balls after each round. What are you even talking about, dude? This is retarded. That's just retarded.
Also,
and I'm amazed. And Dan, shame on Dan for not pushing back. Shame on him.
This is
crap.
He's getting to the point.
Dan Rappaport. Look, I tried backing you up. Zach's going to explain more later, but this is just dumb, and you should call this out, man. This is so stupid, and you know it's stupid. You're friends with Matt Fitzpatrick. You know this is
Matt
stupid.
Fitzpatrick famously never hits range balls.
Yeah, famously never writes down every shot he ever hit.
Famously not obsessed with data.
Yeah, famously not obsessed with data at all.
Pretty mediocre golfer, Matt.
I just think this is stupid. I think this is the dumbest take in all of golf. I think that you just made me dumber just having to listen to Brandon.
I knew you were gonna love this clip. By the way, also
I'm so dumb. I'm stupid. You can't catch. This is the stupid you can catch, by the way. This is the stupid that people are going to listen to and go, I heard Brandon Stanley say.
By the way, even in the amateur game, going to the driving range is almost never bad. Almost never. I say almost never because it can be bad.
You can obsess with
things. There are instances where it can be bad, but almost never is bad.
Sure, that's exactly
right. And
the
having this take is crazy.
Yeah, of course there's ways to approach anything that's bad, right? Like, nobody's arguing you can't go to the driving range and hit it worse than when you got there. No one's arguing you can't do that. But the way these guys use it, the idea that these guys using it is going to make them worse is just ridiculous. They go there because they're already hitting it bad. Brandel. They go there because they already see a problem. They don't go there going, I mean, it's so good, you know.
Yeah, when guys, so good. Especially with PGA Tour pros, when they go to the range, it's because, especially after the round, it's because they saw something in the ball flight and the way that it was reacting when it hit the green. And something that wasn't to their liking, and they're going there to see what exactly is going on and how can they fix it.
Yeah, they saw a problem and they're going there to fix it. They're not going there with a perfect golf swing. That's just oh my god.
It's like his take on routines. It's the dumbest.
Oh, the take on routine. This is worse than the take on routine. You can become over obsessed and you can get tight. And whatever.
But his take was.
You should never do them.
His take was Tiger didn't have a routine, and he just blocked up and hit those putts and made them. And talking about Roy missed that putt at the US Open last year, and that's just not a reality. That's just something he concocted in his brain.
Then Yeah, if you're blind, then yeah, Tiger didn't have a routine. But if you watch the minute prior to him hitting the putt, sure damn looks like a routine to me. You know, it's like, yeah, I saw him do practice strokes. That's not a routine.
I saw him walk up and down this chip, like walk the line, look at the green, how it's sloping. That's not part of a routine.
That's not a routine, man. You're crazy.
Okay, this is an older video.
I love that, by the way. Thank you for
Isn't that crazy? I saw that. I saw that, and I was like, I got to send this to Zane, and we got to talk about it on the podcast.
That's the nuttiest
This
thing.
is an older.
I'm so glad. I'm glad I didn't see it before now.
This is an older clip,
Sorry, go ahead.
But just more. I just like slandering Jay Monahan and the PGA Tour, so I'm gonna watch it.
How does Golf Channel have the rights to?
Well, here's what's even funnier is I posted a swing video on my story, and within like 15 minutes got contacted by the PGA Tour, them telling me to take it down. This is on a Monday
Even though they don't own you at all.
No,
you didn't sign anything.
I didn't sign anything. So it's very interesting. And then obviously we get into this whole thing where the sponsor's getting mad at me because, or not mad at me, the sponsor's mad as well because I'm trying to do my job, but I'm not allowed to because the PGA Tour is stepping on toes. So that's what I dealt with. And I've heard a lot of stories with players dealing with similar things.
How does golf?
Can't imagine why Bryson, with a very popular YouTube channel, would ever want to leave the PGA Tour.
I mean, can I just say this? This just goes to show why. I mean, the PGA Tour is just so unlikable as any organization. This, you know what that reminds me of, actually? Like almost like a apple to apple is the NFL lawyers going after Pat McAfee for displaying emblems and logos on their thing. Not even like graphics, but like objects on their podcast with like the logo of like the Vikings logo stuff. And then Pat McAfee and everything, buddy, turning everything around and like using like fake graphics and stuff,
making up a
and
new,
like basically boycotting it. Yeah, basically like boycotting the NFL like signage. This only
hurts your brand.
This only hurts you. This does not help you. Like for instance, whenever we cover you, PGA Tour, whenever we cover you, we should be allowed to use the footage from the tour. We should be allowed to use shots because and again, we're not using it as B-roll. We're using it as like we're talking 100%. About the shot, right? This should be a thing where you're like encouraging it because this only adds eyes 100%. To the brand. This is so dumb how these companies like or organizations like NBA
I would understand it if it was
NFL
like if we were live and we were broadcasting an event as you were broadcasting it live.
And I could understand if you're Live Golf League and you're using shots from the PGA Tour
it's a direct competitor.
to market your thing because it's a direct competitor. But we are only serving to send you viewers.
The people that cover,
as much as Zach hates you.
By the way, I do not
get more involved in golf.
Tour. I hate their leadership.
As much as Zach hates your guts, as much as Zach hates your guts,
leadership. I don't hate the tour.
He wants more people to watch you.
Listen, more people watch golf, more people play golf, more people play golf, more people take lessons, more people take lessons. Zach make more money. We're for it.
It's a synergistic relationship.
Me and you?
And it should be. It should be a
100%.
Synergistic relationship. It shouldn't be something where we're having to like send you forms.
By the way,
and like
me and Zane obviously both coach golf, but like we talk about golf because we like talking about golf. You know? And
we started this podcast not to make money.
Talking about golf.
Like we don't make anything from this. We did this to talk about golf. And if it, if someday it ends up making money, that'd be great. But we're not in it to make money. We're in it to talk about golf 100%. And enjoy talking about it. And I mean, this is just it's low cost. It's not crazy cost. It's pretty great.
I get to hang out with my brother, who's like one of the most mediocre. Yeah. I'm just kidding.
It's very true. You're not wrong. I'm gonna go cry now.
All right. We got another Dan clip.
Oh, please. Yes, I know. So can you preface this with like you watched?
No, wait, no. This is a different one. This is a different one. We got two more Dan clips.
Wow, you got a lot of Dan. You love this Dan, man. You love
this
him.
one. I actually.
He's a content.
The tee time should be literally randomized.
You think so?
Yes. What kind of joke are we is this professional golf at the highest level, or is this WWE entertainment?
Wait, this is a take. So you
Who
think
cares?
So you want
The
you
TV
want
should work around it.
Do you think Supergroup is a cancer to the competitive integrity?
Well, okay.
No, that's what you think.
No. Oh, to the competitive integrity?
Yes.
100%. Yes, it is. It is so unfair the way that they're. Yeah, it should just be completely randomized. You get whatever tee time you get. If it's crap, it's crap. If it's good, it's good. If you have to play with good guys, bad guys, it doesn't matter. Someone is sitting around hand picking who plays with who. Do you know how hard it is to play in a super group? Do you know and they're doing it all the time. I don't care about feature groups or marquee groups or anything. Have TV figure it out. I don't care. The tee time should be.
What's your opinion on that?
That's actually a harder one.
So this was a hard one for me too.
Can I say this? For the integrity of the game, I 100% agree it should be randomized.
Agree.
However, I know that doesn't get more eyeballs.
I also agree.
I know more eyeballs go to those featured groups. And so, and marketing those feature groups.
At the end of the day, the PGA Tour is an entertainment product.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That is so hard. I'm gonna get back to you on that one. Actually,
that's a tough one. It's a thought.
That is a toughie.
My opinion on it is this.
I think I'd still stick with the feature groups. It just at my heart of hearts. In my heart of hearts, I'd stick with the feature groups because it's still you playing against the golf course. I get it's harder playing against certain guys, but at the end of the day, it is an entertainment product, and you're playing against the golf course.
So my opinion is this: I think if you randomize it, even if you randomize it, you're gonna end up with groups with at least 2 big names on it.
Well, that's how random stuff works. Yeah.
So
that's how random works. You're gonna get featured groups. That's a good point, actually. I changed my answer. Yeah. Randomize it. Make them earlier. Make the tee times known earlier. So randomize it earlier in the week, and then look and see who the featured groups are going to be based off.
So that was my opinion. I think
that's
because here's the thing: if you have, let's say, just for instance, Scotty Scheffler, Sahith Theegala, and Vince Whaley, you're telling me that that's not a featured group?
Probably on the outside.
But you're gonna end up with groups with 2 names that household names that people know.
I mean, Scotty Scheffler's nothing like Vince Whaley. Let's be honest, but
Vince Whaley's so much better, dude.
That's right. Shout out to Vince. You know who you are.
But my whole thing is if you randomize it, here's the thing: you don't even have to completely randomize it. You get a field with pretty even distribution of the quote unquote star players.
No, you don't even.
No.
I disagree with the even.
I'm talking morning and afternoon. You split them up. Morning and afternoon, because you need coverage for both.
And then you randomize.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
I
don't mind that. I don't think you need coverage for both.
I think if you evenly distributed the top 50 in the morning and the afternoon, and then you randomized it, I think you end up with feature groups.
I think there's enough good players and enough personalities. I think you might end up with it.
That's my take.
Honestly,
I think you end up with it regardless. But that's a good question. That's a good
I don't know.
Thought-provoking question. And I saw it and I was like, that's a good one. Because like you said, at the end of the day, the PGA Tour is an entertainment product. They need eyeballs. Featured groups do bring eyeballs.
And you're playing it against the bottom line is you're playing against the golf course. I get there's mental stuff that goes into playing against certain guys, but at the end of the day, that's in your head.
Yeah.
And
that is part of the game is dealing with the mental side of it.
Yeah, I can't control that. I think random tee times are pretty good idea. I think the other thing, can I just say this? think the random times are also a good idea because of different conditions throughout the day.
Yeah.
Some guys can get hit
pretty hard with
some bad tee times.
breaks.
Back to back. Yeah. Like they can get the early.
Well, and there's some tournaments where like the winner always goes morning, afternoon, or afternoon, morning. Like if you see that correlation and you end up with the opposite, you're like, well, that sucks.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're at the clip you were.
Woo!
So, listen,
ready for it. Gonna go on beer 3 here in a second.
Absolutely love
talking
golf.
You good?
I absolutely love talking golf. Shut up, Siri. I absolutely love talking golf. I love talking golf, especially when it's intelligent and when people are being honest about what's happening. The problem is I'm fed up. I'm about to add this person to my hate list. And right now my hate list has one name. We're going to talk about him in a little bit. But this person's about to end up on my hate list. And that's Dan Rappaport. I'm sick of him. This clip made me sick of him.
He's so successful. I'm sick of him.
Let's watch this clip talking about Bryson. So, by the way, I watched this clip. I sent it to Zane. We talked on the phone later. I asked him if he watched it. He said no. And I explained to him what the clip was about. And he's like, well, you sure he wasn't?
No, I did watch it.
Not before that phone call you had.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
He asked me what it was about. I told him, and he's like, well, you sure he wasn't taken out of context? And then, so I rewatched the clip. This is today. Rewatched the clip and realized there's no cuts. This is stream of consciousness.
Okay.
And I got triggered when I watched it the first time. More triggered when I found out there was no cuts.
Bryson DeChambeau. This was his 5th major in his last 6 that he's had a legitimate chance.
Yeah.
Each of the last 5 majors played in the United States. He's had a chance, and I think that's no coincidence because he doesn't really like wind. It's almost like hitting the ball as hard as possible, as high as possible, super spinny is going to make your ball susceptible to the wind. And he said this yesterday. What I really think needs to happen, being pretty transparent here, is just to get a golf ball that flies a little straighter. Everyone talks about how straight the golf ball flies. Well, upwards of 190 mile per hour ball speed, like Rory and myself, it's actually quite difficult to control the golf ball. I'm going to work my butt off to make that happen. It's all up to manufacturing. We'll see what happens, but I'm keen on finding something and I'm keen on improving. I'm excited for that. I would love a golf ball that flies straighter too. That seems like a big market opportunity. If we can get a golf ball that flies straighter, I think that's a big idea.
What about a driver with a bigger head and a bigger sweet spot?
Yeah.
Like, let's move the conforming.
I think we should. I want a golf ball that flies 320 yards down the fairway and just goes straight every time. Bryson DeChambeau. This was his 5th major in his last 6.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, he's just clowning him. That's what you're doing. You're just clowning a guy for saying something that's legitimate. Now, it's also legitimate, and this is what we talked about. It's legitimate that he did change from the left dash to the new Pro V1X, and that's on him. But the problem is like, you can't do that and not expect it to change, like not expect it to hurt you. Now, the other issue though is like, Dan knows this.
Not only does Dan know this,
Dan knows this. Dan knows what Bryson says or his meaning whenever he says that he wants his ball to fly straighter.
He knows what Bryson means. He's being deliberately obtuse.
He just decides to clown on him because he's a live guy. I don't think that
if Rory had said this, Dan Rappaport, I need to calm down. We're family friendly this episode. If Rory had said this, Dan Rappaport would be like, you know what? He's right. When you're swinging the ball,
he's 100% right. When you're swinging this hard, it's got to be. Yeah,
that would have been his
that would have been exactly
because he is a Rory fanboy, and I'm not going to use more vulgar language.
And that's exactly why he had the take he did, and we'll get into it. That's exactly why his take was what it was with this whole memorial thing. We'll get into it.
I didn't see his take on the memorial thing.
Man.
Is he gonna get on the hate list? Oh my gosh. I'm bouncing in my chair. Okay. But
the point I'm trying to make is this is not, I mean, this is just clowning on a guy for just saying something normal. Like, he needs to change his ball. I probably need to find the ball that works for me, honestly. I played Pro V1X in the US Open qualifier. It's probably not the right ball for me, and I need to find the right one. That's not to say, like,
do you want
I'm not saying that, again, I'm not saying
ball?
that those are bad. It just depends. It depends. It's going to depend on which one I feel most confident in, honestly.
I've
What's
tried.
Down to.
So the two I'm stuck between right now, because listen, unlike saying I can't just ask for free golf balls because I'm not on staff with anybody.
Yeah. Come over to Mizuno. Come over to the dark side of the field.
So. Can't.
You can.
Can't.
You can ask. You can ask. Who did you ask?
The person that's in charge of putting stuff in the pro shop.
You can just ask the Mizuno guy.
Have an account with Mizuno currently. Yeah, I know. It's silly.
Why? It would only add money. Like, it would only add revenue.
Just what it is.
And you could just get a Mizuno cart. They'll like ship you one for free.
That's nothing to do with me.
That's crazy.
But I'm not on staff with anyone right now. So at the end of the day, I don't want to spend $60 to pay for Pro Vs or TP5s or Chrome Tours, which is what I played last year.
Sure.
So I am trying out the Maxfli ball, and I tried out the Tour last month. I'm trying out the Tour X this month. And when I say last month, I'm referring to May because we're at the end of May. And this month, I'm referring to June.
It's gonna be Justin Timberlake. It's gonna be
what?
It's gonna be May. Sorry, that was a bad joke. That was horrible. That was a horrible joke. I'm sorry. I apologize.
As someone that makes those kind of jokes, I appreciate it.
That was also that was from having to watch Brandel Chambly talk about people hitting on the driving range. That's what that was. It made me special. Okay, my mom calls me special.
So far, the only difference I've noticed is like the Tour X is slightly spinnier, but they both fly relatively similar. Ben Griffin plays the Tour X, which is a 4-piece ball.
Okay.
And last month I played the Tour.
So it spins a little less.
Spins more.
Right? 4-piece ball spins
a lot
more.
Which I don't hate, especially in wedge shots and bunker shots when I'm trying to get up and down. It's really easy to control.
But it spins less with longer clubs.
I have not noticed that. I've noticed more spin with longer clubs. On the box, it says it spins more.
Yeah, but you do realize that different thicknesses with the different layers are going to produce different outcomes with longer clubs versus shorter clubs. So just because it's a spinnier ball,
I have
doesn't
noticed
necessarily
that it
mean
spins more left to right and
club.
back than the Tour.
Okay.
The Tour X spins more left to right and back.
On longer shots.
Everywhere.
Okay.
All
right.
Now, I am loving the Tour X from around the green, which is why I'm leaning toward sticking with that over the Tour, because the Tour X, I can hit one hop stop bunker shots. I can land them at the hole and they stay within 3 feet.
Oh yeah. Why don't you stay with it?
The issue I have is off the tee. When I hit a bad shot, it's worse.
Okay.
So that's kind of giving me some pause, but I'm still working on my game. I I mean, I shot 1 under with the Tour X today, so
Good for you.
But we'll keep trying it out. But anyway, regardless, we'll get back to Bryson. Get to the point.
All right.
Bryson is talking about, hey, I want to find a ball that better fits me. Everyone knows Bryson's a tinkerer. He constantly tinkers with every part of his game. He's going to tinker with his ball. So him saying, I want to find a straighter golf ball or a golf ball that flies straighter, is like he's obviously answering a question about like, what parts of your game are you working on? What are you looking at to try and fix? Because everyone wants to know what Bryson's up to. Because he talks to the media, believe it or not.
That was a dig at somebody else.
Who I was throwing a dig at.
Can't imagine who you were talking about.
He doesn't have to. He chooses to do it because he likes to do it. He likes to keep the fans involved in what he's doing, what he's working on, which is great. And I think it's good for the game. But like he's obviously asked a question about what he's thinking about changing next or what he's working on, what kind of changes he's looking to make in his game going into the next major. And he starts talking about his golf ball. And now all these really stupid people are taking him, number one, completely out of context and trying to clown on the guy for answering a question that was asked to him. That's a legitimate answer. It's not like he said, oh, I just try hit ball straight and good. That's not what he said. He's looking for a golf ball that would fly straighter. He's currently playing the Pro V1X, which is a spinnier golf ball, which obviously if you're swinging at 190 miles an hour, if you're a little bit off, it could go pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it just frustrates me how much Dan gives. It frustrates me how much leeway he gives certain players with how little leeway he gives other players. And that makes me think, unlike myself, he is not an unbiased opinion giver. I rest my case. I cede the rest of my time to the defense.
There is no defense. So anyway, let's get into the Memorial event. So obviously they had their pressers after the practice rounds this week. And obviously this is Jack's tournament. This is at Muirfield Village. It's one of, a historic location, a historic tournament. So many shots. We've seen a lot of old shots from Tiger, kind of reminiscent of the heyday, even back in 2018 where he holed it out on the par fours. It was just one of the most electric, most gratifying moments of the game. So, I mean, this is just a special tournament. Now, you have a certain person missing this week, a certain person that did not speak to the media at all.
Wait,
after the
who
PGA
didn't speak
Championship.
to the media? On any day of the PGA Championship.
The guy who just won the Grand Slam of golf, the career Grand Slam.
That's crazy.
And so Rory McIlroy, this is Jack explaining that Rory McIlroy never called him to say he wasn't playing the Memorial this week. Let's go ahead and listen.
Way up here.
Wasn't coming.
Hold on. Let me.
Yeah.
Ready?
Were you not aware until basically the rest of us that Rory wasn't coming?
I was sort of aware of it about the middle of last week.
And so it sort of surprises you, I guess, that he's not?
Yeah, it surprised me. But, guys have got schedules and got things they do. And, I haven't talked to him for him to tell me why or why not. That's just his call. I made a lot of calls that I had to make when I played to play or not play. And sometimes it wasn't as popular as people thought it was, but sometimes you have to make those calls. I don't hold anything against Rory for that. He did what he likes to play. I know he likes to play so many in a row. He likes to play the week before a U.S. Open, and so that's what he's doing. So, I really don't have a comment on it. It's very difficult, very difficult. I mean, I'm a big Rory fan, always have been, and I'm sure that will remain that way.
That's a shame, Jack.
So let's just put it this way. This ain't it, Chief.
Yeah, I agree.
That's sad. I mean, you look at Jack right there. How many years does that man have left?
You don't call him to let him know you're not coming to his tournament?
No one's faulting you, Rory, for not wanting to
Tell
play
him.
in the Memorial.
Just
right?
call him and say, hey.
But we know a guy like you has him on speed dial. How hard would it have been to just let the guy know that, hey, man, I love you. Obviously, you care about. How long would 5 minutes of this is something that Dan, your boy, actually brought up. I had a tweet about. He's like, how much would 5 minutes have cost you? Because it's true. It's 100% true. It's kind of sad. You look at Jack. Jack's like, hey, I have nothing but love for Rory.
Well, he's got something but love for you.
I don't think here's the thing. I don't think Rory. I think Rory does golf as a job. I don't think Rory actually loves the game of golf. I think that's evident. I think I started coming to that conclusion around the time they started showing like the cribs of PGA Tour players on like Golf Channel.
Keep talking about like Golf Channel, like cribs episode.
And I remember this was before he was married. And like he's a bachelor, right? And the idea is like, okay, if I'm a PGA Tour bachelor, like I'm probably gonna have like a green in the backyard. Like Jason Day has like a really cool facility. He's like
got buddies too.
He's got like a big old garage. He's got a big old garage and stuff. And like it's a guy that loves golf. Bryson, same thing. He's got greens in the back of his yard and like a lot of golf memorabilia, I'm sure.
You know who I actually think loves
Brooks
golf?
Koepka, same thing. Hold on. Let me
Yeah, I'll let you
talk.
talk.
I'm not done. Thank you. So like Brooks Koepka, same idea. Dustin Johnson, same idea. I think he lives on a golf course
fishes
actually.
mostly now, but
He still lives on one. I don't think Rory actually loves the game of golf because back on that thing where they toured his pad, there was no golf at his house. In fact, he made a mention of it. He said, like, I don't want
anything golf related.
He's like, I don't want anything golf related in my.
I come here to get away from golf, is what he said.
And it's like, if you really love golf, this is something that, again, I will not back off from. So if you disagree, you disagree. Golf is not something, like, if you love something, you don't actually want to get away from it. Like, I get you want to do other things, and that's fine. But not even having, like, a golf memorabilia, like, room in your house.
As a guy that has, like, a mansion.
That seems, especially a major tour winner at the time, that just seems, or a major championship winner at the time, that seems crazy.
Yeah, so, like,
you don't love the game.
I've talked about, I don't know if I've talked about this on the show, but I've talked about this with other people.
I'm going to grab a beer while you talk.
People. Like, I understand wanting to have something you do outside of golf, because I can understand that, like, the grind can almost become suffocating in a way. So, like, that's one of the reasons why I took up disc golf, is so that I had a physical activity that I could do by myself that wasn't golf, that I enjoyed, that would take me away from golf. I don't want to end up hating golf because I'm working so hard to get better at it. I want golf to be something I love for my entire life. And I feel like if I constantly am at the golf course, constantly working at it, constantly doing all this, I feel like there can start to be some resentment there, and I don't want that. So that's one of the reasons why I took up disc golf, is it takes me away from that, gives me athletic activity that's kind of related, completely different body movement, but it still gives me that athletic activity I can do on my own and kind of be away from everything but that like gets me out of constantly being at the golf course and gets me away from potentially end up freaking out and not loving the game that I play. I feel like if you do anything constantly, it can bother you. But that being said, if I was living in a mansion, I would have a simulator, I would have a putting green, and I'd probably have a disc golf basket in there too. Because you know I love golf and I love disc golf.
But here's the thing. Can I just say this? It's fine if you don't love golf.
It's not. You should love golf.
It's fine if you don't, but don't lie to it because there's clips of him saying how much he loves golf. Don't lie to us saying you love golf if you don't really love it. Like you just don't love it. You do it as a job, and that's fine.
Rory, so I lean your direction. I'm not going to say he doesn't love golf, but I lean your direction. The reason I don't think he loves golf is because of his multiple stances on different things that kind of lean in that direction. Like after I'm done on the PGA Tour, I'm not doing any Champions Tour events.
I mean, I figured it out whenever I saw his pad.
Like that, like I'm not playing any Champions Tour events once I'm done with the PGA Tour. I'm not doing the Champions Tour. Like he's already decided that. Another thing is his constant. If he's not playing well, he's not talking to the media.
And that's crazy. Can I just say that? That's
agree, but like those two
that is
things
insane
lead to me to be like, oh, if I had a bad day at work, I wouldn't really want to talk to anyone about my day at work.
Yep.
But just those things, like it leaned in a direction where like he's not really interested in golf, like the game of golf. He's interested in playing well so you can collect a paycheck and live a very comfortable lifestyle. And you know what? That's fine.
And he had goals. Nobody's saying that he didn't have goals. He obviously wanted to win the career Grand Slam. We saw how much that meant to him. But let's be honest.
But like the thing is,
he didn't really love it.
He didn't love it.
He didn't really love the game. It was just something that has always been held over his head. And that's the reason it was such a monkey off his back. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's weird because, like, obviously the guy cares if he wins the Masters. But at the same time, does he actually
But is that
love
like
the game?
you listen to this. So is that like the same thing as getting like promoted to CEO for Rory?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't actually love the business you work for. You just got promoted to the top spot.
Yeah, they just put your name on the wall next to the company's founder.
Yeah.
You don't really love the company. You just are really good at working for this company, and they put the name on next to the founder.
That's exactly right. You don't love your industry. It's not something that gives you purpose. You know, it's just not. But what gives you purpose is the drive to push to the top of whatever it is. Like that's what gives you purpose. It's not golf. And like I said, that's fine. But it's one of those things where it's like, then don't lie to us and tell us you love the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure, again, it's great what he did with Ops 36, like Operation 36. They did a thing with him where he did the video and whatever. But I'm pretty sure they paid him for it.
100%.
And
Rory doesn't do anything unless he's getting paid.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he got paid for it.
And sometimes he doesn't even do anything if he's getting paid.
He's not doing it out of the kindness of his heart.
I don't think Rory has kindness in his heart.
I don't know about that. But anyway, so let's listen to this. So this is Jack.
I think when Team TaylorMade YouTube shows up to like a range session that he's doing, he's like, "Hey, we just want to see a couple shots." He's like, "Ugh."
Probably. So anyway, here is a clip just to show kind of how different the players are nowadays versus back then. We've been talking about this a lot in recent days about like
talking to
Colin
media.
Morikawa. Well, not even talking to the media, just that beta energy, right? We've been talking about that beta energy.
You've been talking about that
This
beta
has turned into
energy.
the Andrew
Don't put
Tate
me
podcast.
into this.
This has
Don't
been turned
rope me into
the
this.
Andrew Tate podcast. But
He over
anyway,
there, he wrote me into
it's
this.
just the beta energy of like complaining, and Zach knows what I'm talking about. It's like complaining, not doing what your responsibilities are, even though you're getting, like Zach says exactly right. The huge paychecks these guys are getting from both sponsors and from their winnings. It's one of those things where you kind of
and
have
then
the
like if you're one of the
responsibility.
big guys on tour, the PGA Tour gets you sponsors. You don't have to go out of your way to do anything. They
Yep,
just like,
and here's
here
the
we
thing.
got Whoop. Do you want to wear a Whoop for like 3 holes on an event?
Well, here's the thing. It's
guess.
like, here's the thing.
For
It's like,
400
can I
grand?
say this? Hold on.
Yeah.
Can I say this? So
Go ahead.
you done?
I'm sorry.
So
I'm
here's
not
the
sorry.
thing. Yeah, you are. Oh, you better be. So here's the thing. So with all these guys, it's just one of those things where it's like you have a responsibility. You're getting paid all this money. That comes with things. And even back in the day, whenever they weren't getting all this money, it came with things.
Yeah.
So let's listen to Jack Nicklaus explaining kind of what he felt his duties were.
You've always been great with the media, but there have been instances so far, or in this season, I should say, where some players has opted not to talk to the media for several different reasons. Most recently, Rory at the PGA Championship when he didn't talk at all. Do you feel?
So that hands up thing, that was pretty great. Anyway, go on.
Stars have a responsibility to talk to the media, which is a vessel to the fans?
Well, I'm not going to talk for Roy or anybody else. I'll talk for myself.
Can you
I've
pause
always
real
felt
quick?
that you-
What a class act, by the way. This is alpha male energy right here.
Listen. I'm going to say this.
So
I think the reporter should have just asked the question instead of mentioning any specific players. And I think we would get a better response out of Jack. I think he's going to give a good response.
No,
I haven't seen this clip.
He gives a great response.
I haven't seen this clip, but I think if you ask that question without mentioning Rory, after he's already had a couple questions about Rory, I think if you don't get the caveat, like I'm not speaking to Rory, I think this answer is probably better. But okay, continue. Sorry.
No, I think it's a pretty great answer.
You guys have a job to do, and gals. And for you to do your job, you need to talk to me. And whether I played well or whether I played poorly, if you still want to talk to me, I'll talk to you. And I always have.
Hey, Jack.
No. What did you just say for? Dude, that is the best answer. Whether I played well or whether I played poorly, I'll talk to you.
I think
this flies in the face of the Shane Lowrys. This flies in the face.
I don't know if it flies in the face of the Shane Lowry.
100% it does. This flies.
What did Shane Lowry do?
Shane Lowry had that thing where I don't want to talk to you after I play.
No, that's not what he said.
Yeah, he did. He said, or we need to have a buffer. That's what he said. It was I don't want to talk to you after I play poorly, or we need to have a buffer or something. That was his thing.
So I thought his blow up at the media was because they kept asking him questions about Rory.
They asked him that before, but there were 2 clips.
Oh, there's
you're
2
talking
different
about
ones. Okay,
one clip.
I haven't seen
the
one
other.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because the one I saw was, listen, I don't want to talk about Rory McIlroy. I just finished really shitty today. I don't want to talk about Rory McIlroy. I'm trying to win this tournament too.
Yeah.
Which is a completely valid answer.
Yes, it's a great answer. I'm talking about the after clip.
I haven't seen that one.
He was basically apologizing for his tone, but before it's first off, you don't need to apologize for your tone. Everybody loved that clip, dude. Everybody loved that clip. It's just one of those.
That was a great clip.
It was a great clip.
And I 100% agree with them.
Yeah, it's don't ask me about him. I'm trying to win.
I'm trying to win this tournament.
Yeah. Why are you asking about him?
I'm one of the best golfers in the world. I don't
Yeah, I don't care if Rory wins his Grand Slam. F that. I want to win.
Yeah.
But the thing is the second clip was him basically saying like, we need to do something about this. Like, I don't need to be talking to you right after I play, or like, there needs to be some kind of like window, or anyway, point being, like, this whole Shane Lowry, Colin Morikawa, Rory McIlroy, where you're not talking to the media, is just not good it's not good for the game, and it's not good for the kids. Like, let's just put this down to just
for the children.
Let's do this for the children. Okay. Like, the thing is, did I lose you? Oh, the thing is
talking.
Okay. The thing is these guys are supposed to be role models, and they're acting like this. This right here, right there. That's an example of a really good role model. His answer. Let's go back and because it's so short. Let's listen to it one more time.
You've always been great with the media, but there have been instances so far in this season, I should say, where
the interviewer
some players has opted not to talk to the media
Rory
for
specifically.
several different reasons.
Done that.
Most recently,
Listen to
Rory
his
at the
answer.
PGA Championship when he didn't talk at all.
His hands up. He shrugs. Now
do,
watch.
Do you feel stars have a responsibility to talk to the media, which is a vessel to the fans?
Well,
now listen to his response.
I'm not going to talk for Roy or anybody else.
Class act.
I'll talk for myself. I've always felt that you guys have a job to do, and gals. And
he feels a responsibility to those people whose jobs rely on him, right? He has a responsibility and duty to those people.
For you to do your job, you need to talk to me. And whether I played well or whether I played poorly, if you still want to talk to me, I'll talk to you. And
my whole thing is more of an issue with the reporter than him, because if I'm the reporter,
Zach, get off that, dude. Come on,
no,
man.
No, I'm not going to get off that.
That's
because
stupid. Get off that.
No,
That's
I'm
so
not.
dumb.
I'm not. Okay, first off, I took journalism classes in college. Okay. If you want a good answer, don't bring anyone else into it. Ask him the question that you want to ask. Do you feel like star players have a responsibility to answer questions from the media? And he would probably give a stronger answer.
No, that was a pretty strong answer. He's like, whether or not I played well or whether I played poorly, I'll talk to you.
I agree it was a strong answer. I think it could have been stronger.
I just think you're reading too much into it. I think you're doing it for the clips. And you know what? That's okay.
No, dude, I don't do anything for the clips. Okay, first off, I don't do anything for the clips.
Sure, you don't.
I give my full, unbiased, unfiltered opinion on this podcast. Beer number 4.
A little bit filtered today. Are you on beer 4?
Yeah.
I'm on beer 3. This is deep. This is as deep as I've been in a long time.
It's as deep as I've been in a long time. Yeah. Listen, I don't have work tomorrow. We're having fun.
Okay.
I plan on waking up at about 10:30.
Okay.
I'll probably wake up about 7. I can't
play disc golf tomorrow? You want to play?
Oh,
no, I have a
weather.
date. I have a date tomorrow night. I can't.
Can I go with you?
Can you go with me on a date? Maybe later. Maybe later you can. Maybe a couple. Give it a couple weeks.
Okay.
Give it a couple weeks.
Hey, I'm saying
every time I've let you meet a girl, it didn't turn out well. Like, give it a couple weeks, all right? Give it a couple weeks.
Because I wasn't involved early enough. That's the problem.
Yeah. Is that what it was? That's great.
That's the problem. Because I wasn't involved early enough. If I was involved earlier, things would have turned out different.
That's awesome.
Trust. Trust.
All right.
What do we have here?
What are we doing now?
Oh, we got to talk about our picks.
We do.
The memorial.
And I think that's basically it. That's all.
This is the end of the show. So first off, me and Zane are on.
Watching, by the way, you guys are great.
Yeah.
Sorry. Just wanted to shout out.
If you're still listening, that's awesome. Thank you guys for watching, listening later, doing whatever you're doing right now, having a good time with us. Because we are having a good time.
Yeah, it's good, boy.
So let's talk about our picks for the Memorial. Me and Zane are both doing this on DraftKings.
Join us. There's a lot of spots left. Join us.
There?
There's 3,000 spots left. So
oh wow,
it's a PGA Tour $30,000 drive the green. It's $5,000 to first place. So it's a $5 entry. Join us. And we'll shout you out on the pot if you join us. Tweet at us.
Yep.
At Beerly Out of Bounds.
We'll shout you out on the show if you tweet.
We'll shout you out on the show. Yeah,
at Beerly OB on Twitter.
At Beerly OB. Is it at Beerly OB? Is that our? Yep, Beerly OB.
Yep.
So just tweet at us and we'll shout you out on the pod if you join. So anyway, Zach, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead into it real quick and let's go ahead and talk about our picks for this week at the moment.
So do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first. Okay, so I picked Patrick Cantlay. Dude has 3 top 10s already this season. He's made it 11 out of 12 cuts. And he just seems like
terrible pick.
Terrible pick.
My God, for that money, you're horrible.
It's not that bad of a pick, dude. God. Why is that a bad pick?
It's just too expensive for the kind of player that he is right now. I mean, like 3 top 10s, and you're paying what, like 2K?
Dude, he just finished T4 in the Truest.
That's awesome for him, dude.
I'm just saying, like.
Listen, I think he's gonna be fine. I think that's a terrible pick for the cash.
You can think whatever the hell you want.
Anyway,
we'll go down. We'll go down. So then I went Tom. Are we going back and forth?
Let's go back and forth.
Let's go back and forth.
I'm gonna start at the bottom of my board. At the bottom of my board, I have a guy who is a guy from New Zealand. We're going down under for this one. And we're going with Ryan Fox.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great choice.
Listen, he just won the One Flight Myrtle Beach Classic, coming off a top 30 at the PGA Championship. Playing well right now.
Yeah.
He has only missed 3 cuts this year, and I like him at this. I like him.
You like him?
$6,500, cheap as hell. Love that.
Gotcha. My next pick is Tommy Fleetwood, $9,400.
That's a good pick.
Tommy Fleetwood, he's playing so good right now. He's got 5 top 10s.
He is going to finish top 25 this week. He is 100%. Not going to win though. He can't win on the PGA Tour.
I think that's ridiculous. He has every chance in the world to win.
Name the last PGA Tour of anyone.
He hasn't, but that doesn't mean that trends are made to be broken, baby. So just remember that. Next for you.
Next for me, second from the bottom, we're going with Sahith Theegala.
That's a good pick.
He has only missed 1 cut this year. He's only $6,900 this week on
I know, dude. That's nuts. And that's exactly why I also picked Sahith Theegala.
He's got 2 top 10s. He's missed 1 cut.
He's only missed 1 cut, and he's 69. Like,
crazy.
how does that happen?
That's great. I saw that and I was like, free money, dude.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Right. That's exactly right. Go ahead.
My next one on the list, I got a guy with 3 top 10s, $7,600. He's also only missed 1 cut. We're talking about JT Poston.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I like.
Let's go. $7,600. He's playing
Poston's
well lately as well. Finished 36th at the PGA after a bad final round.
Mm-hmm.
He had a top 5 at the PGA Championship. He finished 11th at the RBC, so he's clearly playing good golf. The last cut he missed was at the Sony Open in Hawaii.
Wow. It was a long time ago.
January.
Yeah, long time ago. So I picked next I picked Matt Kuchar. So Matt Kuchar.
I hate that pick.
Oh, you can hate it all you want.
I hate it so much, dude. I hate it as much as
cuts.
I hate Rory McIlroy, which is
he's
much
missed
as I
3
hate
cuts.
anything.
He's missed 3 cuts, but here's the thing: like he's on an upswing. He's making cuts. He had the last cut he missed was at the Valspar. Especially for a money saver, this is a pretty good pick. And he plays well at this event, so he plays well at Memorial. So I'm excited to see what he does. At the bigger events, it's kind of weird. At the bigger events, he typically plays better. I don't understand why. Like at the
Probably
smaller
because
events,
he's
he plays
played
like
those
crap.
courses a lot. Because
Like
the
he
bigger
got
events-
cut at Valspar, and then here's the thing: he T42'd at the Players, and then got cut at Valspar. So like, it's one of those things where he gets cut. He got cut at the RSM. He gets cut at these things.
Did he
these
win?
tournaments that
Has
don't
he
matter.
ever won the Players?
No.
No.
So anyway, so I picked him. He's only made 12 out of 15 cuts, but I feel 12 out of 15 is not bad, especially whenever your cuts are only happening on the Valspar. What was the other one? RSM, and what's the last one? Sanderson. So you know what I mean? Like if those are your 3 cuts, those cuts, the tournament doesn't mean anything to you. I think he plays well in tournaments that mean something. And Memorial, say what you want, it means something to people.
We're
So,
talking about a guy that's on the upswing of all upswings, back-to-back top 10s, $7,800 after a top 10 at the PGA and a win at the Charles Schwab. We're going with Ben Griffin, the Maxfli
are you actually?
guy.
You're going the Maxfli
guy.
It's a good pick.
Ben Griffin, $7,800 on DraftKings is crazy low.
That's crazy low for a guy that just won.
Just won. Yeah. So
yeah.
I don't think he goes back to back. He's not my pick to win, but I think for sure makes the cut. Despite him having the worst cut made ratio on my list.
Really? How many cuts has he
He's
missed?
played 24 events, so that probably is part of it, but he's made 19 of 24 cuts.
That's pretty good. That's about on par with Matt.
He
Kuchar's
also
12.
has 6 top 10s though this year.
That's the same as Matt Kuchar's 12 out of 15. So that's pretty solid. My next guy is Denny McCarthy. If you didn't pick him,
Zane,
you're crazy.
Did I not pick Denny McCarthy? Come on, Denny McCarthy is my guy, dude.
Yeah, Denny McCarthy. If you didn't pick him, you crazy, dude. He's $7,900.
Hasn't missed a cut all year.
Yeah,
come on.
How do you not pick him? Especially his last tournament, he T8'd at the PGA,
and that was at the PGA. And then, I mean, he was top 20 at the Arnold Palmer, top 20 at the Players, top 20 at the Valero Texas Open, top 5 at the Genesis. Every event with history, dude, Denny McCarthy has played extremely well at.
How do you not take him at $7,900?
Dude, that was so free.
It was such free money. Anyway, so you took him?
Of course I did.
And
it's Denny McCarthy.
And then my last guy is Colin Morikawa. So Colin Morikawa, I just feel like, again, he's playing better than I just don't think you're gonna miss the cut with him. He's one of those guys that can just shoot low at any given moment. Obviously you saw that string of tournaments there where it was like second in the Tour Championship, T54 Zozo, second at the Century, second at the Arnold Palmer Invitational, T10, T14. So I just think it's one of those things where he could be hot at any day, and he's going to make the cut. So I'm not really worried about that.
Yeah. You might have noticed I named a lot of players with low cash.
Yeah.
And that's because my top seed, he's pretty good at golf.
You picked Scheffler, didn't you?
Of course I did, dude. This is a free top 10, dude.
You suck, dude. I hope he misses the cut because you're a sellout. That's what you are. You're a sellout.
Zane, is there any chance Scotty Scheffler misses?
No, there's no chance he doesn't top 5 it. Let's be honest with you. Let's be honest, dude.
Dude,
playing
he made the cut on the number
PGA Tour.
Dude's top 10.
Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2004. Let's be honest.
Scotty Scheffler, by the way, last week made the cut on the number and then finished 3 strokes out.
Yeah, dude maxed out his stats on Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2004.
Dude, Scotty Scheffler.
EA Sports.
I want to give you a comparison. So the worst average fantasy points per game or per week, I guess, on my team is Sahith Theegala with 65.8. Scotty Scheffler has him by 40.
That's crazy, dude. That's wild.
And I was looking at that. I was like, I have to take Scheffler.
Yeah, you have to, especially if you're gonna get Theegala for that
40
cheap.
points an event. That's crazy.
That's nuts.
And Sahith has only missed 1 cut this year.
Yep.
So I'm feeling pretty good about my team. I think I'm in the cash this week.
You think you're in the cash?
I think I'm in the cash.
Well, so I mean, here's the thing, right? So we got to make the bet, right?
Yeah.
The bet each week has to be something. I say we do shotgun for this one. I say we do shotgun, a can of beer.
You want me to do a shotgun in my carpet bedroom?
You can do it outside. You can film it outside.
Film it outside.
You can do it before. You can do it before, and then just throw the video. Yeah, of course you got to film it.
I think we do a shot. I love the shot idea.
Shots are so easy.
Keep rolling the shots, bro.
Fine, we'll do shots.
If you want, if it's too easy, we can double it up.
2 shots.
2 shots.
No, 1 shot's fine.
Are you feeling nervous, eh?
No, 2 shots is 2 shots is good. Let's do 2 shots.
Okay, we'll do 2 shots.
2 shots.
I am so confident that all these guys are making the cut, and I'm blowing you out of the water. I'm scoring at least.
I don't know.
10.
You picked a lot of guys that are like lower rung. Like,
okay, first off, don't insult my team like that. Okay,
Just
we're gonna start to have problems if you keep insulting my team.
Already did. So,
first off, we have one of the same guys, and I also have the best player in the world on my team.
Yeah, you do.
I think it.
Some might say one of the best players in history.
Yeah, some might say.
Some might say you'd be able to make a compelling argument.
Crazy, but
you'd be able to make a compelling argument.
I love my team because they make cuts.
Yeah.
Like I have 2 guys that have missed more than 3 or more than 2 cuts this year.
That's fit. No, I mean, it's a good cut making team.
I have a good cut making team.
I just
with
wanted
also
to use
the best
a little
player
bit
in the
more
world.
course
I think
fit.
this might be the greatest fantasy lineup I've ever put together.
I used a little bit more course fit tools with Data Golf. So if you
that
know
worked
Data
really
Golf,
well for you last time. I want you to keep that up.
it happens sometimes. Like sometimes it happens, and this time I was more careful on like true strokes gain versus like expectation. So I didn't take that into consideration the last time, like expectation. Like you got to make sure that they're performing better than expectation at the course that they're
Zane's
playing.
a very technical player. I'm a field player. Okay.
Yeah, that's
I'm a field player. Zane's a technical player. When it comes to DraftKings, I'm a field guy.
That's it.
Okay?
That's 100% right.
Listen, Zane can throw a perfect curveball, but listen, I know
Hey,
how
you
to
should
throw
come.
the
You should
105.
come for a playing lesson tomorrow at the Golf Club of Georgia, and then we'll see who's what's a what. You know.
Listen, dude, I do not need a playing lesson.
Come for a playing lesson.
Oh, you were being like facetious.
Can't even get the word facetious out of his mouth. Oh my gosh, this dude is drinking.
I am. Beer
anyway.
number 5.
Beer number 5. Chug it, dude. Chug it.
I'm not gonna chug it, dude. I'm so full right now.
So anyway, no, super excited about this tournament. I actually do like the Memorial. This is one of the tournaments I actually watch a lot during the season. So I'm excited.
You know what kind of stinks about the PGA Tour?
What?
Is that if you don't have ESPN Plus, you can't watch the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, it does. That's why ARG.
Dude, that's so funny. This is you're not going to relate to this at all because this is such a fringe opinion or fringe take or fringe like reference. But like I'm subscribed to a podcast that talks about Warhammer 40K. And they talk about pirating shit all the time, but they always go, you know, like if you don't feel like spending the money to pay for the Warhammer Plus subscription, they literally do that same thing.
Oh, that's great.
Shout out to
the Pirates.
Shout out to the Pirates. Go Bucks, you know?
Captain Jack Sparrow, baby.
This is that's a great song. Captain Jack Sparrow by Lonely Island.
No, it's not, but okay.
It is. Wait, no. First off, we got to pause real quick. I know we're at an hour.
Thank you guys so much for joining the podcast.
No. We're not ending this.
We hope you guys enjoy the Memorial Tournament.
Absolutely zero control.
This is such a great time with you guys.
You have absolutely zero control.
We enjoy spending time with you. Thank you guys for subscribing. Make sure you like, comment, And hit that subscribe button.
How do you not like that
hit
song?
the bell if you want to.
How do you not like that song?
Hit the bell if you want to be notified about new updates, new episodes. We always stream on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Please join us. We'd love to have you.
Around 9 p.m. We try and get as close as we can.
We try.
But sometimes Zane shows up late. So
that's what happens. Yeah. All right. See you guys. You guys have a good one. Peace out.
We're not done yet. I need to hear why you don't like that song.
No, we don't. Just peace out.
No, tell me why you don't like that song.
It's just not a great song.
I don't agree.
You don't have to agree.
Why don't you like that song?
Why is this such a big deal to you?
It is a big deal.
It's
dude.
a big deal whether
one of my
I like
favorite
that
songs by The Lonely Island.
Okay, so
what would you put above it in their discography?
Almost every Threw It on the Ground is better.
That's crazy. Threw It on the Ground is not better.
It's not crazy. We like sports. That's funnier. It's
Dude,
way better.
No, it's not. We like
it
sports.
is.
Dude, you have a kindergarten.
Maybe I do.
Humor.
Maybe I do.
That is unbelievable.
Maybe I do.